thank you for taking the time to get to know one of your local schools, Channing. You can also find this presentation on the school website at www.channing.co.uk. Channing was named after Dr. William Ellery Channing, who was a Unitarian preacher in the United States in the early 19th century and one of Unitarianism's leading theologians. Our founders, Reverend Robert Spears, and two sisters, Miss Emily Sharp and Miss Matilda Sharp, founded the school initially for the daughters of Unitarian ministers and others. In 1885. Reverend Robert Spears was born in Tyneside and was later called to the ministry in London in 1861. And after moving to Highgate in 1884, he built a Unitarian church on Highgate Hill and co-founded Channing House School, which became Channing School in 1931 and later Channing in 2019. Emily Sharp was the elder of the two founding Sharp sisters. Their father, Samuel Sharp, was a banker and Egyptologist, and both Emily and Matilda were educated by their mother, Sarah, who was herself an accomplished and learned woman and talented painter. As the school's reputation grew, especially among the Unitarian communities in Ireland and Hungary, a scholarship programme for Hungarian Unitarian students was established by Emily in 1892, which still exists today. Matilda Sharp undertook the teachings of classics in the school and some French also. Matilda was also known for her artistic talent. Two of her portraits in oil are displayed in the National Portrait Gallery. Matilda Sharp's inspiring words are also inscribed on a plaque on Founders Hall, one of the buildings over at Channing, the senior school, which states, "Never forget, life is expecting much of you and me." In January 1885, Channing School opens, and the first principal, Miss Jarvis, opens the school with 35 pupils, occupying only two houses on the bank, Highgate Hill, Sutherland House, later renamed Channing House, and West View. Channing currently has just under 1,000 pupils across both the senior and junior school. And although the option to board ceased in 1967, there is still a strong sense of identity and community among the alumni and current pupils alike. By 1910, the school comprised 31 boarders and 26 day girls. All pupils were educated to the very highest standard in order to enable students, should they wish, to enter the civil service or to pass the Cambridge local examination, the matriculation examination of London University, or any other scholastic examination to which ladies are admitted. One of the most remarkable things about Channing is its forward-thinking approach to educating girls. From the beginning, the curriculum was broad and ambitious, and Miss Matilda often invited distinguished visitors such as young Marconi to talk to the school. Much to the delight of pupils and staff, in September 1896, Signor Marconi demonstrated his newly discovered methods of wireless telegraphy. Some historical dates of note in terms of headship: the establishment of the Old Girls Association, the first Channing House School magazine, our role over World War I, which very much consisted of school life continuing as normal. And in 1926, Hampden House was added, and 130 pupils were noted as being on roll. In 1926, the lease of Fairseat was acquired by Channing House for use mainly as a boarding house. And later, in the autumn of 1976, the freehold was successfully acquired and now houses the junior school. Some more historical dates of note in terms of buildings being added, completing the incorporation of the terrace on the bank in 1930. And by 1931, Channing House School became Channing School. From September 1939 to the summer of 1945, the school and its inhabitants evacuated to Ross-on-Wye and took up residency in the Chase Hotel, as well as other properties for the purpose of conducting lessons. During World War II, the bank had been taken over by the Royal Navy and the London County Council, who also used much of the grounds of Fairseat for a British restaurant, as well as transferring the school's sports grounds at Stanhope Road to allotments. Unfortunately, some bombing in 1944 and a landmine in 1940 caused substantial damage to Hampden and Arundel, two of the terraced houses on the bank, resulting in their demolition. Highgate House, which now stands on the site of those demolished buildings, opened in 1954, and a number of other houses in the local area were purchased for the purposes of educating and housing the students. Some more historical dates of note in terms of headship: the anniversary of 75 years since the opening of Channing in 1960, the departure of the last boarders in 1967, and of course the leasehold of Fairseat in 1976. The uniform at Channing has changed over the years. In the Victorian era and early 20th century, pupils were photographed as below, wearing dark dresses with lace collars. On Founders' Day and similar occasions, white silk dresses had to be worn by seniors and green shantung dresses for juniors. The brown uniform that Channing is most synonymous with was introduced in the mid-30s, and in the 1960s and 70s, as tweed became less used domestically, it was substituted with plain brown skirts and trousers for winter wear. And today, pupils from reception all the way up to year 11 must wear the school uniform in school, apart from sixth formers who are permitted to wear their own clothes. Founders' Day is perhaps one of the most special days in the school calendar. It falls on the first Saturday in July and is an opportunity for the whole community to come together and enjoy a showcase of works, performances, and interactive displays made by pupils and staff. The afternoon concludes with speeches from the headmistress, governors, and a reading from a Unitarian minister from our community, followed by light refreshments and a chance for people to socialise. Students at Channing have always been able to embrace the most modern technology, and there have been a number of redevelopments throughout its time to accommodate this. Some more historical dates of note, including the centenary of the school in 1985, in the 1990s, buildings were extended to create more space, and by 1996, pupils on roll had increased to over 500, seeing extensive development of the junior school at Fairseat and the conversion of the stable blocks to a performing arts area. Additions to buildings were made, and later on in 2010, Channing celebrated 125 years. In 2014, Founders Hall was redeveloped to include a new music school and music technology lab. In 2016, Adelante, Spanish for All, which is a program that was launched where students study Spanish as the first foreign language from Year 7 with the option to add French and German as a second or third language in Year 8. The program is designed to make proficiency in Spanish and an appreciation for the Hispanic culture a feature of a Channing education. As part of the Adelante program, the school also hosted Cervantes Theatre's productions in 2019. In 2017, the new sports hall and sixth form centre were completed in December. And in November 2018, the Arundel Centre was officially opened by Her Royal Highness Princess Sarvarth of Jordan, who herself is an alumna of the school. In 2018, the redevelopment at the junior school commenced and was completed in early November 2020. Mrs. Lindsay Hughes is our present headmistress, and she joined Channing in September 2020, bringing with her a wealth of experience and a vision for Channing as it enters a new exciting phase. She states, "What really sets us apart is our underpinning Unitarian values of free thinking, acceptance, and inclusivity, which are encapsulated in the Channing promise of kindness and respect. You will find Channing as a school where each individual is encouraged to understand their strengths and to learn to mitigate their weaknesses, using their time at school to develop their school skills and enjoy their success, however they define it." Thank you very much for taking the time to look at this presentation. Should you have any questions, please do go to our website www.channing.co.uk. Thank you and have a lovely afternoon.